this is what I came across. It says Meagan Good is tired of the bad beat era, wants to promote good, classy representation of Black women. I think that's great. If this is true, and if this is like a real thing, I think is great for a great thing, because she is always, like, as you guys mentioned, always depicted as like this video vixen, super sexy person, which is not representative like of a biblical woman. And I do think, like, as a biblical woman, you can still be like sexy and attractive without leaning on lust and things like that, which I think she tended to lean on in a lot of things. And I would say, like, overall, like, she has been showing herself off as like a classy woman in things that I've seen of her lately, which I think is great.
That is interesting. I wonder if her relationship with
Jonathan.
Yes, Jonathan Majors. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. Like, if maybe he's like inspiring her to kind of go in that direction, you know, because they seem really, at first I thought it was like
weird.
Yeah, at first I thought it was weird. And I thought, like, okay, it's obviously like one of them Hollywood relationships where they're getting paid to do that, basically. Mm. But and that could still be the case. But I mean,
no way.
What?
No, because she got with him when.
I mean, I don't know. I'm saying
he was going through, like, he was getting shunned by the world, and she got with him, and then was true. Like, I'm gonna pay for your legal fees because I know it's hard on you.
Yeah, that's a ride or die right there.
Yeah,
but, yeah.
Trying to get that ring again.
I'm just saying, I don't claim to know about their relationship, but all I do know is that when she's with him, she's different than what I've seen.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, she seems different, and I'm comparing that to what I've seen in the past, like early 2000s, from when she was married to the pastor, and then when she divorced him, comparing it to now, like, she seems like really different. She seems more at peace, like more assured of herself, and she even like is covering up a little more, that I've noticed.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I agree.
So yeah, I could see that being something, like, even if she didn't say it, she's still like heading in that direction. Like, you know what? I think I'm done playing a teenager, you know? So,
yeah, she just seems like she's in like a better space mentally, physically. I love that for her.
Good too.
Good for you. I was actually watching like her house tour, and yeah, she just seemed like she was in such a lighter space now. So interesting. But
that is interesting. I really do love that for her, because I think that might be the case.
Do you think there's like a difference between Devon and Jonathan?
I do see a difference. I think to me, and again, this is all speculation. This is just me observing outside looking in. But to me, it seems like with Devon, he was very like maybe high strung and like maybe putting a lot of pressure on maybe the relationship, or just in general, or maybe even he just had like a real emotional way of dealing with things, like real emotional, like, I don't know what to exactly call it, but he wasn't setting a good tone for the relationship. I'm not blaming him, but I'm trying to get my words out. But with Jonathan, he seems more like shoulders back. Masculine. I know who I am. This is where we're going.
Yeah.
This is my life. And would you like to join me? Like, and she seems very like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
let's go.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the difference that I see. And I could see it to where, like, also Devon probably like was trying to force her to be something she wasn't. Like, maybe he was trying to encourage her to be more like like a biblical feminine woman, which is good, but I don't think. I mean, maybe. I think that's what he thought he was doing.
No,
I think that's what he thought he was doing, but I don't think he did that, and I don't think, because a lot of times it's kind of like, I don't know what to call it, but it's like he wasn't inspiring that part of her, and it was a lot of pressure basically. Whereas Jonathan, I think he just kind of encourages her to just be. And now she's like falling into herself, like who she's meant to be. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Devon was just all about appearance. Like I
can see that.
He's like, because I know y'all keep saying he's a pastor, but
he's not.
He
calls himself a pastor.
He's ordained to preach, but like that's not his main role. That's not how he came up. That's not how he got popular.
I did not know that.
I know, but I think he calls himself like
Pastor Devon Franklin, right?
Yeah.
That's because it's all part of his. All right, let me.
Yeah, they did have a book and everything.
This is an image thing. He's from Hollywood. He is literally an American. Let me make this bigger for the people. Like, look at this.
I'm about to tell y'all.
He's an American producer, author, and motivational speaker. So
he's a Joel Osteen.
But it's like, yeah, he does it and he promotes, this, way of, being a pastor to associate himself with being a good person and helping people to better themselves, right? But that doesn't mean that he's actually teaching people the righteous way. And I'm not saying that he doesn't have good things to say. I've heard, some of the things he said, and I don't have a problem with him as a guy, but I think he is part of the whole establishment that turned Meagan Good into what she was. Like, I think he was just feeding her more into down that path of the video vixen or the typecast that she was labeled as, right? Whereas when she gets with Jonathan, right, the guy's already down bad. She's like, there's really no reason for me to get with this guy from an image standpoint, whereas the guy I was just with is all about image, right? And all about, protecting and looking good and making sure people, because that's what is going to help sell and drive revenue. Yeah. But no, I'm going to get with this guy. I really like him. He's going through a hard time. I'm even going to help him out because I like him so much. Oh, wait. And now we're getting married.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas Devon went and got him some more eye candy. Now, I don't know the woman, so she could just be a perfectly fine, just great woman, just salt of the earth. And I hope that is the case. But from an appearance standpoint, it just looks like, oh, she is another beautiful face that is going to look good because he's going to show that, oh, I'm a family man. I'm, holding down the fort. Yes, my first marriage didn't work, but look, I got this beautiful woman that's by my side who supports me, and she's coming to all my events, and we're gonna really help change your life. We're gonna make these movies, and you're gonna go and you're gonna buy. Like, it's just, I just feel like it's all just
for sure.
It's not like, and I'm not saying that the love isn't genuine or he doesn't love the woman, right? But the whole overall image is not something that's like focal, right? Like, it's not wholesome, right? There's some, I guess, bad faith involved in it. Like, it's like, okay, some of this actually is for just show, just for image, right? I do like you. I do think you're pretty, but at least that's, with the current knowledge I have, that's what I am gleaming from it.
Oh, that's a solid take because they met on the movie that he was producing, which was Jumping the Broom. And in that movie, she was typecast as like
she sure was.
Yeah, because that's, you told me that, which I didn't know that. And then we watched that movie about a month ago, and I was like, he fell in love with her after she played this role?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
And he's supposed to be, the pastor or whatever. And I know, like, you're producing a movie with an overall good message. You have to have people that fill those roles and stuff like that. But her character was like pretty abrasive. Like, not the type of woman that you would probably want to marry in the end.
Yeah.
And so, and like that, she was like, she was like the hard woman that just got broken by the guy with the pretty face, right? It was like he was the only one that could crack her, hard shell, and it was
Yeah.
because he could talk smoothly, and
Had the
he
pretty
was good
eyes.
looking. Yeah, he had the look in his eyes, right? And I feel like Devon may have done that to her in real life, and then they're in marriage for X amount of years, and then you kind of get to the end, and you're like, wait a minute, like,
This isn't real.
yeah, it's not real. It's just all like, I'm just literally been playing the character that he fell in love with on this movie set originally.
That's a pretty good theory you got there.
I could totally see that.
Yeah, me too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I really don't know too much about him other than I saw a video of him crying after he got divorced. And so that's kind of all I know about him. But he did give me like more of the Joel Osteen vibe where it's more like just for show kind of thing. But I was like, I could just be judging. I don't know anything about him.
I mean, yeah, look.
Motivational speaker.
But yeah, motivational speaker. It's
Funny.
like Joel Osteen. So yeah.
Funny story. Like when I was trying to like get closer to the Lord and stuff like that, I used to watch like his sermons.
Really?
Devon Franklin's, until I was like, this is like a motivational speech. What am I doing? This is not helping me.
Yeah, look at this. Franklin made the transition into Hollywood's studio system in 2003 when he took up a creative executive position at Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. In his book, Produced by Faith, Franklin describes his time at MGM as critical in reaffirming his passion for filmmaking. Thanks to creative inputs, his new role afforded him in helping contribute to projects like John Travolta's 2005 crime comedy Be Cool, following my policy of trying to add value and contribute wherever possible. I managed to make an impact despite being the lowest man on the corporate ladder. So yeah, like this guy was always just trying to, break into Hollywood. And it seems like, yes, he had faith, but we know in order to make it in Hollywood, probably got to compromise in some sort of way. You got to be casted like Meagan Good, or you got to be willing to do different things, right? And so the fact that, I mean, and back then that was probably the only way to make it. Like now you have all these independent outlets and routes that you can take because we have social media and you can really make your name for yourself solo. But back then he was probably just trying to make a way and working his way up. Like it says in this quote here, he was just trying to make an impact despite being the lowest man on the corporate ladder. So he's kind of just fighting and clawing. And y'all just did the show yesterday where you couldn't say the name Jesus at a record label, right? So, think about how many other policies and things you're not allowed to do in certain scenarios, even if you're a believer. You're going to have to compromise somewhere.
That is true. Well.
Well, yeah, well. Well, way to bring that to the light, babe. That was good.
Very solid point.
Yeah, very solid. Very. Nothing like a wise man.
Shout out to Josh.
Go ahead, give yourself claps again.
Yes.
Well, okay, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the verse that I got. So I have 1 Peter 3:3-4. Do not let your adorning be external, the braiding of hair and the purring on of gold jewelry, or the clothing you wear, but let your adorning be the hidden personal of the heart with the imperishable beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which in God's sight is very precious. And I think that is the direction that Meagan Good is seeming to go in, she was working on her inner self and working on, because that is what is most important. It's like the outer stuff is supposed to reflect what's on the inside. It's supposed to reflect our love for the Lord. And I think we are seeing that because she does seem more joyful. She does seem like she's carrying herself in a healthier way and covering up more. And I think when you do like cover up more, especially with the intent of glorifying the Lord, then that is very different than just covering up because you're being told to cover up.
Yeah.
So I think that was awesome. And getting into some context on that. So in this part of the passage, this is where Peter gives instructions specifically to Christian wives. Peter writes that Christian wives should not seek their adornment or beauty or identity in how they dress or how they wear their hair. This is in no way meant as a ban on braiding or jewelry. Rather, it is a warning about using external things in an attempt to find true beauty. God's will is for wives to beautify themselves from the inside out. And I think that's not just for wives. I mean, I think anyone, I guess, looking to be married, because it is he who finds a good wife, is that something like you should probably work on, you know, if that's something that you are struggling with, is like, okay, I need to make sure like I look a certain way in order to get a certain reaction from people, when really like is what you're looking externally representing what's inside of you. And I'm a firm believer in like how you dress is what's going on inside of you. So I think that represents that pretty well. What do you think?
I agree with that. Even like going as far as to say like what you choose to like do with your outer appearance is a reflection on it on the inside. Like you getting maybe a bunch of work done, maybe reflecting like a bunch of insecurities that you may or may not have, and yeah, like, or you just maybe looking a mess and you feeling a mess on the inside. So it's definitely, I mean, we can't hide it. Like eventually what's on the inside will come out. Even if we try to cover it up with makeup or a nice hairstyle. So, yeah, I agree with that.
And let's go ahead and get into the faithful take. If you are not pursuing the light, you are pursuing the darkness. There's no gray area, and it will be reflected in your lifestyle. And yeah, everyone will see it. Not only will you see it, but other people will see it as well.
And by that time, you're going to wish that you had just worked on it yourself before the world could see it.
Yeah. And the journal prompt that I got for y'all to end the night is, when do you concern yourself more with your outward appearance versus your inward heart posture? Does the inside reflect what is on the outside? Something to leave you with, something to think about. But that is all we have for tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. Thank you to Josh again, my husband, for producing the show. Thank you for Miracle for joining in.
This was fun.
It was fun. Make sure you like for the algorithm. Catch us on Substack and check out our quality merch store if you like what you watched today.
Get fresh.
Yes.
Okay.
And until next time. Bye.